A terrifying creature has attacked the Earth, and almost all humans have been wiped out. The few people who are still alive are struggling to survive by any means necessary. The story begins with a girl named Blair, who is living alone in an isolated house. It has been a long time since she has seen another human face. She focuses entirely on her own safety. She has a walkie-talkie through which she clings to hope. Perhaps one day someone will contact her. One day, she ventures outside and reaches a strange place. It looks like an old shelter. Maybe people once took refuge here, but now it is empty. Blair goes inside and finds some essential items, a bottle of water and some medicine. She quickly packs them into her bag, but suddenly, she feels that someone else is there. Terrified, she wastes no time and flees, returning to her shelter. Back home, she resumes her usual routine, eating, reading books, and staring at her walkie-talkie, hoping that maybe someone will respond. But deep down, she knows, in this ruined world, there may be no one else left alive. Meanwhile, far away from Blair, a boy named Tommy is also fighting to survive. Suddenly, the terrifying creatures appear around him. He immediately starts running for his life. During his escape, his bag, containing all his essential supplies, falls. Still, saving his own life is the most important thing. So he leaves the bag behind and finds a safe place to hide. He spends the entire night in fear, hiding in the same spot. As soon as the sun rises, Tommy goes back to the place where his bag had fallen. He picks up the bag and decides to find another safe place to hide. He also has a walkie-talkie. Through it, he tries to contact someone. And fortunately, this time, his attempt succeeds. He establishes communication with Blair. For the first time in many days, Tommy hears a human voice. Tommy tells Blair that he is on the roof of an old building, with dangerous creatures roaming below. Blair then gives him an idea. She says there is a window at the back of the building, and if he exits through it, he can be safe. Tommy follows her instructions and escapes through the window. Thanks to Blair's help, he saves his life. The next morning, Tommy returns to that spot, collects his bag and walkie-talkie, and moves forward. He tells Blair that he has made it out safely. Blair is overjoyed and says, "I haven't heard a human voice in so long." Curious, Tommy asks where she lives. Blair explains that she is in an old abandoned house. She says she hides there to stay safe from both humans and the terrifying creatures, and doesn't dare go far. Tommy then shares a plan of his own. In the distant mountains, there is a small cottage where his family used to live. He thinks that if he goes there, he might be safe, and perhaps no creatures are there. Hearing this, Blair becomes very interested. She says, "I'm tired of being alone. I want to go there with you." But she warns that their walkie-talkies have limited battery, so they can only talk 3 times a day. Both of them decide to proceed carefully and meet each other at the mountaintop. Blair quickly packs her belongings and sets off. Meanwhile, Tommy also begins his journey. Along the way, he feels intense hunger, but he knows that to survive in this new world, every step must be carefully considered. He has some food with him, but he doesn't eat it immediately, knowing the journey will be long. If he consumes it all now, he might be in danger later. So, he patiently continues along the path. At the same time, Blair also moves forward without pause. On the way, she enters an empty house, hoping to find some food or drink there. Now, the earth has become a complete ruin. All the houses are abandoned. Blair moves very carefully, making no sound, trying to find some food. During this journey, we see her catch a rabbit, cook it, and eat it, the only necessary way to survive in this harsh reality. While searching for food, she finds a pair of headphones. She puts them on and begins listening to an old song. In this desolate, terrifying world, music may now be her only companion. Meanwhile, Tommy tries to reach an old bus, hoping that he might find some food inside. But as soon as he looks into the bus, he hears a terrifying, strange sound. Frightened, he immediately flees and finds a safe place, pulls out his walkie-talkie and tries to contact Blair. Blair asks, "Did you find anything?" Tommy replies, "No, not yet." Then Blair gives him advice. "There are so many abandoned houses around. We can take food from any place, but we must make no noise. If anyone notices, your life will be in danger." During their conversation, Tommy asks Blair, "If both of us survive and meet one day, where would you want to go?" Blair is silent for a moment, then says, "I've always dreamed of going to New York. My family and I dreamed about that city many times, but while my father was alive, we never fulfilled that dream." There is a deep sadness in her voice. She adds, "My father's only memory is a photograph. Now, that is the last trace I have of him." Then Blair asks about Tommy's story. In a calm voice, he says, I'm not anyone special. I also have a single memory of my father, his necklace. I always keep it with me. It gives me the reason to survive, the hope to keep going. When my father passed, I scattered his ashes into the sea. If I survive this apocalypse, one day I will return to that shore to say goodbye to him one last time. Blair listens attentively, then says, "Night is falling. You should find a new place to sleep now. We'll talk again at 9 o'clock tonight." Blair continues her journey and eventually reaches a church. The church is completely empty, but suddenly she sees a strange woman there. The woman begins speaking oddly. God is giving us the consequences of our action. Humans have sinned greatly, and now they are paying the price. Hearing this, Blair bursts into anger. She says, "If your God really existed, he wouldn't let people die, because humans are his children. No God leaves his children alone to die, so don't give me this meaningless advice." Saying this, Blair storms out and continues her journey. Night falls. Meanwhile, Tommy enters an abandoned house and begins searching for food and drink. After searching for a while, Tommy finally finds a small amount of food. But just as he is about to leave, his eyes fall on a terrifying creature. In an instant, panic consumes him. He starts to run, but suddenly trips and falls to the ground. The next moment, the horrifying creature leaps onto him. Tommy thinks, "This is it, my last moment." But to his shock, the creature doesn't attack him. For a few seconds, it just stares at him with an intense, unreadable gaze, then suddenly turns away and leaves. Shaking with fear, Tommy somehow manages to get up and runs to a safe place to hide. His breathing is rapid, his heart pounding in his chest. With trembling hands, he grabs his walkie-talkie and calls out to Blair, "Blair, a creature attacked me, but it didn't kill me. I'm still alive." Blair is stunned. She says, "How is that possible? Everyone who's ever faced them has died. What was different this time?" Tommy's voice grows heavy. Slowly he says, "When these creatures first came, they killed my father, my mom, my little sister. None of them made it. Only I survived. I couldn't save my dad. And now, I don't even know why I'm still alive. Or for whom." His voice breaks, and he begins to cry. Softly, Blair says, "Tommy, we're still alive. You have to keep living. For me, don't give up. If your father were here, he would never let you fall apart like this. We have to stay strong. We have to reach the top of that mountain. We'll meet there, I promise. Just keep believing." They talk for a little while longer before their connection fades. Blair continues her journey. Along the way, she finds an abandoned car. Exhausted and emotionally drained, she decides to stay there for the night. Meanwhile, Tommy also finds a safe place. He lights a small fire for warmth and prepares to get through the night. Morning arrives with the first rays of sunlight. Blair slowly opens her eyes, and the next moment, her blood runs cold. Outside the car window stands a terrifying creature. Before she can react, the creature leaps onto the car. Desperate, Blair tries to escape, and just as the creature attacks, she breaks the window and strikes it with a metal rod. After a brutal struggle, she finally manages to kill it, but the fight completely shatters her. She collapses beside the car, exhausted, breathless, and breaks down in tears. In this hellish world, survival has become almost unbearable for her. Every day, fighting for survival, feeling the shadow of danger at every step. This has become Blair's life. After trembling for a moment, she steadies herself and, holding her walkie-talkie, tries to contact Tommy. She says, "Tommy, a creature attacked me just a little while ago. But the scariest part is, it happened in broad daylight. They used to come out only at night, but now they're learning, evolving. This is a terrible warning for us." Worry is evident in Tommy's voice as well. He says, "We need to move faster now. I can reach the top of the mountain in about 5 days. You have to get there as soon as possible, too. We must survive, no matter what." Then they both resume their journeys, driven by the hope that one day they will meet at the mountaintop. In this ruined world, their last shred of hope now rests on the promise of that meeting. As Blair walks, she reaches a railway line. Exhausted, she sits down for a while and takes out her camera, starting to take pictures. This has become a habit, capturing every moment, as if to convince herself that she is still alive, and perhaps humanity isn't completely dead yet. Meanwhile, Tommy enters a deserted house. There is a stable there, and a few horses are still alive. While surveying the area, a girl suddenly appears in front of him. She is in very bad condition, weak from hunger, fear in her eyes. The girl says, "Give me your bag, then I'll let you go. If not, I might kill you." Tommy's heart trembles, and he feels sympathy for her, but he cannot give up the supplies he needs to survive. Calmly, he says, No. The girl becomes angry, growls, and within moments, lunges at Tommy. He quickly hides in a corner, but then another terrifying danger appears. A creature enters the house, targeting the girl. A horrifying scream escapes her lips. Tommy wastes no time and flees, but the unfortunate girl cannot escape the creature. She falls victim to death. Tommy runs until he reaches a safe place and immediately pulls out his walkie-talkie to contact Blair. But there is no answer. Perhaps Blair has turned off her device. In fact, Blair was in danger at that very moment as well. Just a little past the railway line, a creature attacks her. There is no way to escape. She prepares to fight. But suddenly an old man appears and kills the creature with his weapon. Before Blair can even comprehend what has happened, the old man took her to his home. There, he dressed her wounds and made her some tea. Taking a deep breath, Blair asked, "Why did you help me?" The old man smiled softly and said, "What else could I have done?" Blair asked again, "Do you live here alone?" The old man shook his head slowly. "My wife used to live with me, but when those creatures came, they killed her. I somehow survived. Now I comfort myself by thinking, at least she's free from this hell." After a while, Blair turned on her walkie-talkie and tried to contact Tommy. She said, "An old man saved my life." Tommy's voice sounded anxious. "Can you trust him? This morning, a woman attacked me. I barely survived." Blair replied firmly, "Yes, I can trust him. If he wanted to, he could have left me there to die. But instead, he saved me, gave me food, took care of me. There are very few people like that left in this world. If we survive this, I want us to live on some distant farmhouse, in peace, without fear." Then, suddenly, Blair began to talk about her mother. Her voice grew heavy. She said, "My mom and I were sleeping one night when a creature attacked us. She fought with everything she had. She told me to run, but I couldn't. I saw her suffering, gasping for life. There was no chance she would survive. I had a gun with just one bullet. I used that bullet on my own mother because I couldn't stand to watch her suffer like that." As soon as she said it, Blair broke down crying. In a soft voice, Tommy said, "What you did wasn't wrong. Leaving her in that kind of pain would have been even crueler." Blair slowly composed herself and went back inside the house. The old man, who had overheard her, quietly said, "What you did took an enormous amount of courage. Not everyone has that kind of strength." Blair looked at him, and for the first time, she realized, in this terrifying world, survival required not just physical strength, but the strength of the heart as well. James listened to Blair's story with deep attention. After a moment of silence, he sighed and said, "The same thing happened with my wife. I fought with everything I had to save her, but I failed. Even today, I live with that pain. I couldn't protect her. But maybe that's why I helped you. At least this time, I was able to save someone's life." Then James handed Blair a bag filled with food and water. He said, "You should head east now. Your friend is surely waiting for you there. And remember this, if you ever need shelter, the door of this house will always be open for you. Maybe I don't have much time left, but as long as I'm alive, this house is yours too." Blair, filled with emotion, said softly, "Thank you, James." She then set off on her way. Meanwhile, Tommy sat in a deserted place, eating the little food he had left. Suddenly, he senses that someone, or something, is nearby. His heartbeat races. Just then, a creature leaps out of the darkness onto him. Tommy struggles desperately to survive, but the creature is terrifyingly strong. Then he notices a large rock beside him. With all his strength, he lifts it and strikes the creature on the head. A horrific scream echoes. The creature collapses to the ground and doesn't move. Tommy breathes deeply, but he knows this fight is far from over. He quickly pulls out his walkie-talkie to contact Blair, but the battery is dead. Meanwhile, Blair also wants to speak to Tommy, but her walkie-talkie is inactive as well. Instead of giving up, she sets the device aside and continues her journey. As he walks, Tommy reaches an old house. Exhausted, he goes inside and falls asleep. The next morning, knocking at the door wakes him. He cautiously approaches, slowly opens the door, and there, Blair is standing there. Tears and smiles fill both their eyes. After months of struggle, fear, and loneliness, this moment feels like a victory, a proof that humanity, hope, and connection still survive in this world. They hold each other tightly and talk for a long while. "We don't have to go anywhere anymore," Blair says. "We'll stay here, and here we'll build our new world." Blair smiles, and Tommy says, "As long as we're together, there's nothing to fear." But their happiness doesn't last long. Suddenly, two creatures charge toward them. In panic, they rush inside and slam the door shut. Blair peeks through the gap in the window and says, Now these creatures are attacking, even in the daytime. We don't have much time. Wasting no time, they work together to turn on a gas cylinder. At that exact moment, the creatures break down the door and enter, and Tommy and Blair ignite the fire. Within seconds, a massive explosion erupts. The entire room is engulfed in flames. Tommy and Blair escape through the back door and watch from a distance as their only shelter burns to ashes. But they do not give up. Tommy says, "No problem. We'll build another house." Blair nods in agreement. Just as they take a brief moment to catch their breath, a terrifying roar echoes from the direction of the mountains. They both look up at the sky. Fear is clear on their faces. Tommy and Blair look into each other's eyes. They know this danger is far greater than anything they have faced before, but they also know, as long as they are together, they can face any threat. And it is this unshakable trust, this courage, that ends the story.